Hey adventurers, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a bit of a packed video. I'm going to discuss a number of things in here. I'm going to discuss some maintenance issues, a handful of upgrades I've done, some handy cleaning tips, and just some other general things you might find interesting. And depending on the model you have, if you have the international model specifically, I've got some stuff for that too. If you didn't see yet my video on the night vision goggles, I'm going to be giving those away in this video. Stay tuned to the end to find out what steps you need to take to enter to win this contest. If you recall back a few months ago, I did a video on my new water filtration system. I test the water wherever we go, and the BluTech water filtration, so I have the triple filters and the water softener. Those things have proven to be fantastic, and we didn't even realize how good they were until we stayed in a hotel a few nights. Blair noticed how bad it tastes, and she said, I've become spoiled to our great tasting water, so I know that it's working. I'm replacing the filters and adding salt to the water softener, so you can see how that process is here. All right, I've got my new BluTech water filters here. This is the triple one, so you have the tasty filter, the 0.2 micron, and the longevity filter here, and they come in a pack of 3. So the filters, I think they're 60-70 bucks for the set. They last 3 to 6 months depending on how you're using them. So this will be my first time I've changed them out, so join me for that. And it comes, when you first get the system, it comes with this little tiny, what looks like a screwdriver, but it's really something to stick in this hole and undo these things. So we're going to do the longevity filter first. Here's the longevity, so pop that out. New versus old, looking kind of rough. Maybe I should have replaced this before now. This is the 0.2 micron filter. It looks like this one. Looking pretty rough. Making sure I don't cross thread this on here. And the last one, the good old tasty filter. Tasty filter's looking pretty good compared to the other two. Now I have to go let it run for a little while before I can plug it up to the trailer. All right, next thing I'm going to do is dump this water softener and refill it. And it just requires some plain old salt. One thing about the design of this thing is this little lip on the bottom here. It traps dirt, so there's always dirt in there from the first time you set it in. So not that big a deal, it's just a thing. All right, the water's dumped. Now it says, place water softener upright, remove black cap, pour one box, 26 ounces. Common table salt into the open tank. Secure the cap back on, reconnect the water source to the inlet. Flush it for 30 minutes using a light flow about the size of a pencil, and then 7 minutes full bore, and now it's ready for use. Okay, let's pull the top off the tank. Salt replaced. That felt much better. So I've got my new filters going, and there's supposed to be 3 gallons of that come through before you use it. And then water's coming over here, and I got my little pencil spout coming out. I'm gonna let that go for 30 minutes. Next piece is on the rear hatch. If you have a rear hatch model, you may have experienced this. I had the screws come out of the handle locking mechanism on the inside of the trailer. It's not something that's going to be detrimental because it will never fall off because of that guard that's there, but The screws did fall out, the self-tapping screws, because I think they were tightened down a little too tight, so it stripped out the aluminum wall just a bit. But I put them back in with screws, as you'll see in this video. But just so you know, subsequently, I went back, removed the cover again, and I put rivets in all 4 of those holes so they won't come out ever again. Let's see how that went down, and make sure you go check your rear hatch if you have a rear hatch model, because you can see the screws looking through the little side hole. If you have the rear hatch model and you're ever near your rear hatch and you see a screw like this laying around, know that it probably came from your handle. Can you hold that down, please, again, Blair? So there's a big metal box here that I have removed, but this piece is held on to that door by 4 of these self-tapping screws. If they were screwed in too tight, then ours have all 4 have stripped out. They vibrated themselves out of the hole. So I'm putting a little slightly larger screw in there, and I'm going to email Airstream and ask them what they recommend be done. Potentially, you could replace this interior panel and try again. You could put some rib nuts in it. There's a number of things you could do, but that is problematic. I bring that up because anytime I park somewhere and I see a random screw laying around, I play detective and try to figure out where it is. I found one of those back here before and I couldn't figure it out, but now that I found a second one, I got really curious because I could feel the little metal shavings in it from where it had pulled away from the door. Now, if you get in this rig with the door shut or outside the rig with the door shut, you can feel that it shakes a little bit, and you can see these holes here. There's a little bit of wear grease in there. And that's, if you see any black powder, what looks like black powder, often people see it in their bathroom. There's a little silver trim along the bathroom counter along the wall. And oftentimes you'll see what looks like black dirt or black grease or something right there. It's just ground down metal is all it is from the metal rubbing at a high frequency volume. So it creates little metal shavings, which looks like black grease or black dust. So that wear grease is often what that's commonly referred to. If you see that stuff places, you know that things are rubbing together. Now, I know this door shakes. I know that it vibrates going down the road, and the worse the road, the worse the door vibrates. That's one of the features or drawbacks of having the rear hatch. Now, you do have a rubber gasket all the way around. Just make sure that you keep that thing lubricated so it doesn't dry rot. And if it's ever falling off, make sure you replace it, because that's what keeps the door sealed. But it also helps with the vibrations and dampening the vibrations. But more to the point, check your rear hatch. You can see, if you look right here, if you look inside that hole, you can kind of see down there where it's at. If you're looking in the hole, you can see where that metal piece is. Or you can take your cover off. It's just 8 screws. They pull out pretty easy, and you can verify yours. But I found the screw today, and I looked in there, and I saw another one laying there. So now that's a third one. So it was only hanging on by one. Now, that thing is not going to fall off because this cover will keep it pressed against the back door. So it's not something I'm super concerned about, but it's something that I want to get fixed. Now, I'll let you know as soon as I find out from Airstream what the plan might be to fix it. And Airstream's response to my question was to put more self-tapping screws or bigger, slightly bigger screw in, which is what I did initially. I didn't like that feature, so I went back and put rivets in, and that's worked quite well. Held on perfectly, no other issues from the rear hatch. Now on to the kitchen. If you have the same cooktop we do, the 3-burner cooktop, that's pretty generic in most Airstreams, except for the Globetrotters and the Classics. But even then, they have a crack. But I use a toothpick to clean out the edges, and I'm gonna show you how to pop that top off in case you need to clean underneath it. And I'm gonna polish the countertops using a polish that's safe for stainless steel and for the Corian countertops that you can use on your rig if you see minor scratches in it. If you're like us, sometimes you get food debris down here in the cracks. And just take a toothpick and clean it all out. That's the best way I found to get this part. And then you can wipe all that down. Works pretty well, just a little toothpick. And if you don't remember, I made a video about this a while back, but if you remove the grate and you need to pick this thing up, it pops out here, and you can take this whole thing out. and just push it back in. Next are these little grommets here. So they go along the side here and they hold your grate in, but sometimes they rip and tear. You can get these. I have a link down below from Amazon, but you pop out the old ones and pop right in the new ones. They're great. They're not exactly the same, but they're close enough. They're not as long, but they work just as well. So you can get this from Amazon. Have you found your Corian countertops getting a little dull looking? I bought this stuff the other day from Amazon. Perfect Sink is called. I used it on the sink itself, and it doesn't get the scratches out, but it makes it water repellent and easier to clean. So I like that. But it's also safe for Corian countertops. So if you have a RV with some Corian countertops, I'm just going to show you what the before and after look like. I don't know how well the video will pick up, but it's got some scratches and it's kind of dull looking. So we'll see what the same look is in a bit. If you're interested in any of those products, the baby bottle drying rack, the other things that I've used here today, I'll have an Amazon link down below in the video description if you're interested in getting any of those things. So Perfect Sink, lemon scent. Results are okay. I wish I had done this when I first got the trailer instead of waiting. We're getting close to the 2-year mark now, but it works well, works good on the sink, so something good to have. It comes in a little pack of 2. You can share one with a friend if you want to. So hope you enjoy. Bye. If you have a 27-foot or 25-foot international Airstream specifically, and you're ever on city water and your faucet here does not turn on the water heater, meaning your water heater works at the shower fine, works in the bathroom fine, but right here at the kitchen sink, it doesn't work when you're on city water because the flow rate is too low. There is a little small button back here. So this one goes from spray pattern to single thing, but this button up here makes it flow much faster. So try that out and see if that makes your water heater come on when you're on city water in this particular model, because the flow rate may change. Your water heater only ignites when there's at least a gallon per minute flow rate and the PSI is enough. So make sure, check that button and see if that works next time you're having that issue. Check that first. If that doesn't work, just put a little water in your fresh tank and turn your water pump on, and that will help it out here too. Blair videoed me putting the curtains back in after I'd taken them out to do a wash. I have washed the curtains many times. I've made a couple videos on that before. You can see those linked here in this video. But if you do remove your curtains, there's little white triangular looking tabs on the ends of the curtain rods. And I'm talking about the cloth curtains, the ones that slide on your end caps. You should be able to slide them right off. Now, taking the screws out of those little plastic pieces is sometimes exceptionally difficult because they're just jammed in there super tight, and getting a screwdriver because of the angle of the roof and the angle of the sidewall is not always optimal to get a screwdriver in there. A little right angle screwdriver is the best thing to get it out with, but if you need to, you can remove 1 screw or 2 screws along that track that's holding it against the wall, and you can pull it off the wall and get a better angle on it. And I'll show the screws, what different screws you can pull off in the video here. So this top screw here holds in the end cap. If you can't get that out because of the curve of the roof here, you can take out this screw and maybe even the middle screw here, and then this will pull off the wall and you can more easily get that out. It's going to be clean sheet night and clean curtain night.
That's right.
We got all the things washed.
Thanks to
Frank and Leanne.
That's right.
Got a great visit. They travel almost as much as we do.
Mm-hmm.
Pro tip: put them all on the bottom first, and then put them on top. Meaning slide these little things in the bottom first. Putting them back on, just know that sometimes they're tapered at the top, so they're smaller at the top than they are at the bottom. So when you put them back on, just make sure you know which way goes up and down. You can do that by there's a tag on all of them, and you can just note where the tag is as you take them off. And so you put them back on with that tag is in the same spot. And note the way your Velcro overlaps one Velcro or another. I just take a video or a photo of it before you take them off and know which way the Velcro goes. So in case you do get confused, you can say, all right, this one goes here. So it makes life much easier. It's a little easier with the rear hatch model because it's just 2 curtains back here to take those off. But the front bedroom has the 4 panels that go across. And if you don't have the rear hatch, you have the 4 panels that go across the back too. So that you can wash them in, we wash them in Woolite on gentle cycle for delicates, and do not dry them because if they shrink, they won't fit. So we let them air dry or line dry. And once they're dry, we put them back on. A few months back, I replaced the skylights in this trailer with the really cool glass skylights. And I talked about it in the video, I believe I did, about the difference in the sound of rain, because as soon as I got them in, it poured down rain, and Blair and I were both shocked at the sound differences. So here's a video I made inside of the trailer with the rain coming down on a standard plastic skylight, and I went directly in my trailer and took a video of a skylight, our skylight, the difference in the sound. So same rain, same time, you can hear the differences in the different skylights and how drastic it is different. Next is the sewer cap. If you have ever had difficulty taking off that sewer cap, I might have a solution for you. Something I carry with me. I thankfully have a strong enough grip to get to it, but I keep it with me just in case Blair has to do it, or to show other people how to use that. But it's a way to take an oil filter off your vehicle and just use that, pop it right off. Have you ever struggled to get that cap off, or get your sewer hose taken apart, or if you still have the twist on, twist off, not smart plug power cord? I have a solution. An oil wrench. So these come in a myriad of sizes, and you get the rubber ones or whatever else, but it's because of these handles on this particular model, this one can be somewhat difficult, but it will still work. Get it on there, and you can pop it off like that. Works out pretty well. I have the hand strength to do it on this particular model, but sometimes it's a bear. So you can get the rubber oil wrench, you can get the rubber oil filter wrench, or you can get one like this. I bought this thing at Walmart. You get them at kind of any hardware store, but I will link down below for an Amazon link for you, should you desire to get something like that to help you out. But the power cords, sewer hoses, sewer hose clamps, any of that kind of stuff, these things are pretty handy to get those things off. So, also I'm going to talk about if you ever let your cap dangle and it's windy, you might wonder what that sound is. If you're ever camping in windy weather and you hear some clanking underneath your rig, you might want to go check these two things. Because when this thing starts blowing around and it starts hitting underneath your trailer, it'll do that. Same with this one. So to remedy this one, I just lay it up on top of that pipe. And I know all of you don't have that same capability because of your plumbing system. Next, if you have the Max Air fan, push open vents in your bathroom or shower, I think it was 2022 when they installed those, and newer. They are a drastic improvement over the previous ones with the black top up there. That sponge filter or sponge seal that goes all the way around always falls out, so it was a pain. The new ones are much better, Max Air fan. Anyway, if you have the Max Air fan and your screens in there are dirty, I'm going to show you how to take the little screwdriver and take those things out and put them right back in. Very simple to clean. First step is to get a small screwdriver and remove those screws and those two screws. So once you get those little screws out, you can work this thing around, and And again, that's not easy. That's really hard to do with one hand here. But you can pull it out and wash this thing off and reinstall it. And you can also clean up in there. Just be mindful, don't turn it on, like accidentally push the button, because those fan blades might not feel great. Just washed it out in the sink. And now we're gonna just not so gracefully put it back up in the hole here. And I'll put the screws back in the hole. And while I'm in the shower doing things, for those of you who live with shedding creatures, you need one of these in your life to clean out your shower drain, because it gets very gross. This thing has those little barbs on it to pull stuff back up through. So gross. And you can stick it down in there pretty far too. And these things are cheap enough where you can just throw it away and you don't have to clean all that off. I installed the Froli, I'm not sure how to say it, but bed system, the springy things under the mattress, a few months ago, and I'm going to do a follow-up here. I'm adjusting my system. So I believe I said it in here, but one of my favorite things about it is adjustable. You can make it softer or not, or less soft or more soft. And you can adjust the firmness by moving them closer together or putting some other hooks in there. So I like the adjustability of it. And after sleeping on it for a couple of different arrangements, what I have done now is what I like the best. Still love the system, still very, very happy with it. And Blair and I still sleep pretty great every night in our beds without upgrading the mattress. If you have not yet seen that video, you can see it linked here in the screen. And it will be linked down below as well, and how to get yours and get a discount. Hey everyone, I still see many of you out there in the world who are purchasing the Froli bed system based on our last review, and I want to do a little follow-up real quick. I'm making some adjustments. So I put all of mine on the middle rung, and I was just laying here this morning and I felt that my extras, so these blue ones are a little stronger than the other ones are, so they don't flex as much as these do. So I'm moving those down a row, and right here where the main trunk of my body sleeps, I'm going to squeeze them all together so it's a little bit more firm, because I felt like I was sagging in the middle right here. So I'm going to give myself a little bit more pressure right here. But what I'm bringing is, I still love this system. I still sleep great on this system. But my favorite thing is it's adjustable. Like if you get a specific mattress, you can never adjust that mattress. You have to get another mattress. So these, if it's too soft or not soft enough, you can adjust them to make them softer by moving them farther apart, or make them not as soft by moving them closer together, or even more firm by adding these little crimps in here. So I'm gonna move them closer together. Then I'm going to try some crimps. I just want to play around, but I've been sleeping in the same configuration for months now and have really enjoyed it. But I loved it. And if you missed my original review video, you can see it. I'll link it here in the video. You can just click on the little icon above and find it, or you can just search on our YouTube channel for the Froli bed system and see my review video of it. But I do love it. And if you haven't purchased yours yet, you can still get a discount code. Discount code will be here on the screen and down in the video description down below. So if you are looking for a way to sleep soundly in your Airstream or your RV, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be an Airstream, but I think these are a wonderful, wonderful system. If you've ever wondered about your tank drain, so if you have, again, I think it's a 2022, maybe 2023, but pretty sure 2022 is when they changed the fresh tank drain. So if you have a 2021 and older model, I'm not sure how far back older, but a pretty good ways older. It's a white, very hard to turn knob, like a cooler, like an old water cooler drain valve. Now it's a metal one, but people have asked how to hook a hose up to it because it's not a standard size garden hose. However, it is a 1/2-inch PEX hose. So all you got to do is get you a 1/2-inch piece of PEX male side insert, and you can hook a plastic hose to that and run it off. Reason most people do this is because wherever they happen to be parked at the time, they can't drain right there. They need to drain 20 feet away or something like that, and it would be nice to have a hose to hook up to it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I just had a question asked to me. I've never been asked before, and I think some people might be interested in it. If you have that drain valve on your tank, not the white one that's kind of a pain to turn. If you have the newer drain valve on your tank and you ever wanted to hook a hose up to it, it's a 1/2-inch PEX fitting. And you can get this kind of thing from Lowe's or Home Depot or any hardware store, but a 1/2-inch PEX line. And you can screw this in and you can hook up any kind of drain line to that and let it drain out if you happen to be in a spot where you can't drain it right there under the tank. I think that's it for this video. If something else comes up, I will add to here. Thank you all very much for joining. Thanks for allowing me to be a part of your day. I love you all, and I appreciate your patronage to us. And a special thank you to all of our patron members out there who continue to support all the things we do. We could not do what we do without you. So thank you so very much. For a chance to win the night vision goggles, I'm giving away one pair, the pair that I did the video with. All you have to do is go to our website, 13adventures.com, all spelled out. Go to the contact us link over on the side, click on that, and then type in your name, your email address, and then night vision goggles will be the subject or this box there. But type that in and hit send. So 72 hours after this video releases on YouTube, I will make a drawing for the night vision goggles. I will draw one name. I will contact that person directly 72 hours after this video is released. No more entries will be accepted after that, and I will mail them to the winner. So good luck, everybody. If you haven't seen the video yet, check it out. It's linked here, and you can get your own if you're interested. They are a pretty neat device, and Amazon link for those are down below or down below in the video link, the video description for that specific video review. Again, thank you all very much for making us a part of your day. We love you all. Can't wait to see you on the road. Happy adventures, everybody. Bye. I'm doing a couple things in the kitchen here. If you have the pro tips with Brad, internationally.
What happened to your forehead?
Huh?
What happened to your forehead?
I don't know.
You have a red spot. Did you hit yourself? I don't know.
Yes. The new, not Fantastic Fan. I might have put those on upside down.
Oh, good.
I don't think they're that.
All of them?
Yeah. They just seem a little tighter. You can adjust them by moving them further apart, or by adding some of these